1986 Liberty One dime, a small but powerful piece of American currency that has made headlines for its shocking market value, with some examples reportedly fetching as much as $559,000. Yes, you heard that right, a simple 10-cent coin, minted almost 40 years ago, could be worth more than $500,000 today. That is the kind of story that makes coin collecting so exciting and mysterious. Now, before we reveal why this dime is so valuable, let's take a step back in time and talk about the world of 1986. The year was full of change and innovation. The Statue of Liberty had just celebrated its 100th anniversary with a massive restoration project. The United States Mint was releasing commemorative coins, and technology was beginning to shape the modern world in ways that few could have imagined. Yet among all these major events, the Denver Mint quietly struck millions of ordinary Roosevelt dimes, small silver-colored coins that most people never gave a second thought. The 1986 Liberty One dime was part of this everyday circulation, a simple copper-nickel coin featuring the familiar profile of President Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse side and the torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse. Designed by John R. Sinek, the Roosevelt dime had been in use since 1946 and was meant to honor the late president for his leadership and his fight against polio. The design remained unchanged for decades, and by the mid-80s it was a standard coin you could find in anyone's pocket or wallet. So what makes the 1986 dime so special? Why would a coin that was produced by the millions suddenly be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? The answer lies in a combination of rarity, minting errors, and collector demand. As any serious numismatist knows, the tiniest difference in a coin's production can create enormous value if it turns out to be unique or extremely rare. And that's exactly what happened with certain examples of the 1986 dime. Some of these coins have been discovered with unusual features, errors that occurred during the minting process that make them stand out from every other dime produced that year. These errors can include missing mint marks, double dies, off-center strikes, or planchet anomalies. In particular, some 1986 dimes were reportedly struck on the wrong type of planchet, meaning the metal blank used for the coin was not the standard copper-nickel combination but something entirely different. When one of these rare errors surfaces, collectors go wild, because these pieces are essentially one of a kind. The 1986 dime also gained fame when a few pristine examples, graded at the highest levels by professional coin grading services, reached astonishing prices at auction. Coins that are graded mint state 68 or higher can bring enormous premiums, especially if they have perfect luster, strong strike details, and no visible marks or scratches. A high grade combined with a rare minting anomaly can skyrocket the value far beyond what anyone expects. That is how a simple dime that once bought a piece of candy or a phone call can suddenly become a six-figure treasure. Imagine the thrill of discovering a coin like that in your pocket change or tucked away in an old jar of coins that has been sitting in a drawer for decades. It's the kind of story that every collector dreams about. People have found fortunes in their loose change before, and this dime proves that even modern coins can still hold surprises. Every time you handle a coin, you are touching history, and sometimes that history is worth far more than its face value. The fascinating part about the 1986 dime is that it represents more than just money. It tells the story of American craftsmanship, the evolution of minting technology, and the ongoing passion of collectors who keep these stories alive. The United States Mint has always taken pride in producing coins that stand the test of time, and the Roosevelt dime has now been in circulation for nearly 80 years. Each year of production carries its own small mysteries, and once in a while, one of those mysteries turns into a legend. Today, when we talk about a value reaching over $559,000, we are not just talking about one random sale. We are talking about a coin that has captured the imagination of the collecting world. Auctions, private sales, and expert appraisals have confirmed that this dime is not just a curiosity, it's a genuine piece of numismatic history. Whether it is because of a minting mistake, a unique composition, or an incredibly preserved condition, the 1986 Liberty One dime has earned its place among the most sought-after modern coins in America. Now let's talk about the current market. The coin market has always been driven by supply and demand, but it also thrives on story. A coin with a story is a coin with a soul. And this particular dime's story has everything: mystery, rarity, and that dream of hidden fortune. As of now, collectors continue to search for surviving examples, and prices have shown no sign of slowing down. Even common 1986D dimes in average condition are being inspected more closely, just in case one of them turns out to be that special variety. Professional grading has become essential in verifying these coins. When a 1986D dime is sent to a grading company like PCGS or NGC, it undergoes a detailed inspection. Experts examine every aspect of the coin: the strike, the surface quality, and any possible mint errors. Once authenticated and encapsulated, the coin's grade can make or break its value. A difference of one grade point can sometimes mean the difference between a coin worth a few dollars and one worth tens of thousands. That's why documentation, certification, and preservation are so important in today's coin market. Collectors around the world are fascinated by this dime because it challenges what we think we know about modern coins. It shows that even in a time of mass production and machine precision, mistakes and miracles can still happen. The 1986D dime reminds us that the thrill of discovery is never truly gone. Somewhere out there, in someone's change jar, there could still be a forgotten coin waiting to be recognized for what it really is: a rare and valuable piece of American history. So if you have a collection of dimes, or maybe a handful of coins that you haven't looked at in years, now might be the perfect time to take a closer look. Get out your magnifying glass, check the mint marks, study the edges, and see if you might have something extraordinary. You never know what secrets your coins might hold. As we move forward in this video, we are going to break down exactly how to identify the 1986D Liberty dime that could be worth a fortune, what specific signs to look for, and how the coin's condition and rarity affect its overall market value. We will also explore the fascinating history of the Denver Mint, which has been responsible for producing some of the most collectible and valuable coins in U.S. history. So grab your favorite drink, sit back, and stay tuned as we uncover the full story behind the 1986D Liberty 1 dime, a 10-cent piece that has become a true symbol of how something small can be worth something truly extraordinary. Today we are diving deep into one of the most surprising and exciting discoveries in the world of United States coin collecting. We are talking about a small coin that most people handle every single day without even giving it a second thought. Yes, the simple 10-cent piece, better known as the dime. But not just any dime, we are talking about the 2005D Liberty 1 dime, a coin that has recently gained massive attention in the collector community because of one stunning reason: it could be worth as much as $59,000 in today's coin market. Now before you shake your head in disbelief, stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you will understand exactly why this little coin has become such a big deal. We will explore its background, the story behind its design, the minting details, the key errors and varieties that have collectors searching through their pocket change, and of course, the current market values that are making headlines all over the numismatic world. So grab your favorite coin magnifier, settle in, and let us explore the amazing journey of the 2005D Liberty 1 dime, a coin that proves that treasure can still be found in the most unexpected places. Let us start with a little bit of history. The dime as we know it today has been an essential part of American currency since the late 18th century. The word dime comes from the Latin term decimus, meaning tenth, because it represents 1/10 of a dollar. Over the years, the dime has carried many famous designs, from the early draped bust and capped bust types to the barber dime, the beloved Mercury dime, and finally the modern Roosevelt dime that we use today. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, shortly after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who was deeply admired for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, and also for his role in founding the March of Dimes program to fight polio. Since then, the Roosevelt dime has been a lasting tribute to one of the most influential presidents in American history. Now fast forward to 2005. That year, the Denver Mint struck hundreds of millions of Roosevelt dimes, each made of a copper and nickel composition with a weight of about 2.268 grams and a diameter of 17.91 millimeters. On the front, or the obverse, we see the familiar left-facing portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt designed by John R. Sinek, the chief engraver of the United States Mint. His initials JS appear just below the neck. The word liberty appears along the left edge, the motto "In God We Trust" is positioned below the chin, and the date 2005 is seen to the right. Just above the date is the mint mark D, indicating that the coin was struck in Denver, Colorado. On the reverse side, we see a torch in the center, symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch representing peace and an oak branch representing strength and independence. Surrounding the design are the inscriptions "United States of America, E Pluribus Unum," and "One Dime." At first glance, the 2005 D Roosevelt dime seems like any other ordinary modern coin. Billions were minted, and most people have handled them countless times in daily transactions. But in the world of coin collecting, sometimes it is not the ordinary that excites us, it is the extraordinary that slips through the cracks. Every once in a while, a particular year or mint mark combination produces coins that contain rare minting errors, unique die varieties, or exceptional conditions that make them highly valuable to collectors. The 2005 D Liberty 1 dime is one of those special coins that have captured attention because of rare striking mistakes and high-grade conditions that push their values into the thousands, and in some cases, tens of thousands of dollars. So what makes some of these dimes worth so much money? The answer lies in a mix of rarity, condition, and collector demand. One of the major factors that determine the value of any coin is its grade, that is, how well preserved it is. A dime that has been in circulation, bouncing around in pockets, vending machines, and cash registers, will show plenty of wear and scratches. But a coin that has remained untouched since the day it was minted, a coin that looks brand new with its original luster, can be worth many times its face value. Coins that are graded by professional services such as PCGS or NGC and achieve a top rating like MS68 or MS69 can sell for thousands of dollars at auction. In fact, a high-grade 2005 D dime with exceptional strike quality and flawless surfaces has sold in recent years for prices approaching $59,000, shocking many collectors and dealers alike. Another factor behind the value of certain 2005 D dimes is mint errors. The minting process is incredibly precise, but mistakes do happen. Some dimes from that year have been found with off-center strikes, double dies, missing clad layers, and other unusual defects. For example, a double die obverse can show slight doubling of the inscriptions or Roosevelt's profile, which can make the coin instantly more desirable. A missing clad layer error, where the outer nickel layer is absent and the copper core is exposed, creates a striking visual difference and can also command a large premium. The more dramatic the error, the higher the value collectors are willing to pay, but there is another layer to this story. Many collectors believe that the 2005 D dime may also exist in a rare transitional form, where a few pieces may have been struck on planchets intended for another denomination or from a leftover batch of metal from a previous year. These transitional errors are extremely rare and can send shockwaves through the collecting community whenever one is discovered. It is the mystery of these few outliers that keeps the hunt alive, the dream that you might find one of these valuable coins in your pocket change or in an old jar of coins at home. As for today's market value, prices can vary greatly depending on the exact characteristics of the coin. A regular 2005 D dime in average circulated condition is worth its face value of 10 cents. But if you happen to have one in mint state condition or with a known error, the value can range from a few dollars to hundreds, and for the top-graded examples, even tens of thousands. Auction houses have reported record prices, and online listings continue to attract serious interest from collectors and investors who see these coins as both historical artifacts and financial opportunities. When a simple dime can fetch a price tag close to $60,000, you know that the numismatic market is alive and thriving. The story of the 2005 D Liberty 1 dime is a reminder that sometimes the smallest things can hold the biggest surprises. It teaches us that history is not only found in museums or old documents but also in the everyday items that pass through our hands. Each coin tells a story of design, craftsmanship, and the fascinating journey from the mint to the world. Whether you are a seasoned collector to explore the world of coins, the lesson is the same: pay attention to the details, check your change, and never underestimate what you might find. So as we wrap up this introduction, remember to always keep your eyes open for the extraordinary hiding among the ordinary. The 2005 D Liberty 1 dime might be small in size, but its impact on collectors has been huge. From its elegant design honoring President Roosevelt to its unexpected rise in market value, this coin continues to capture the imagination of numismatists everywhere. Who knows, the next time you open your wallet, you might be holding a tiny piece of American history worth far more than you could ever imagine. Thank you for tuning in today. If you enjoyed learning about the 2005 D Liberty 1 dime and its fascinating story, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell so you never miss our latest uploads on rare coins, hidden treasures, and valuable collectibles. Share this video with your friends and family. You never know who might have one of these valuable dimes sitting in their pocket right now. Until next time, keep collecting, keep exploring, and remember, every coin has a story, and sometimes that story is worth a fortune. Welcome back to the channel, coins collector, coin lovers and treasure hunters from all around the world. It is always a pleasure to have you here once again on this incredible journey through the fascinating world of rare coins, hidden gems, and amazing pieces of American history that continue to surprise collectors every single day. If you are passionate about coins, history, or simply love hearing about rare finds that could change your life, then stay tuned because today's story will absolutely blow your mind. Today we are diving deep into one of the most intriguing coins of the modern era, the 1986 D Liberty 1 dime, a small but powerful piece of American currency that has made headlines for its shocking market value, with some examples reportedly fetching as much as $559,000. Yes, you heard that right, a simple 10-cent coin, minted almost 40 years ago, could be worth more than $500,000 today. That is the kind of story that makes coin collecting so exciting and mysterious. Now, before we reveal why this dime is so valuable, let's take a step back in time and talk about the world of 1986. The year was full of change and innovation. The Statue of Liberty had just celebrated its 100th anniversary with a massive restoration project. The United States Mint was releasing commemorative coins, and technology was beginning to shape the modern world in ways that few could have imagined. Yet among all these major events, the Denver Mint quietly struck millions of ordinary Roosevelt dimes, small silver-colored coins that most people never gave a second thought. The 1986 D Liberty 1 dime was part of this everyday circulation, a simple copper-nickel coin featuring the familiar profile of President Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse side and the torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse. Designed by John R. Sinek, the Roosevelt dime had been in use since 1946 and was meant to honor the late president for his leadership and his fight against polio. The design remained unchanged for decades, and by the mid-80s it was a standard coin you could find in anyone's pocket or wallet. So what makes the 1986 D dime so special? Why would a coin that was produced by the millions suddenly be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? The answer lies in a combination of rarity, minting errors, and collector demand. As any serious numismatist knows, the tiniest difference in a coin's production can create enormous value if it turns out to be unique or extremely rare. And that's exactly what happened with certain examples of the 1986 D dime. Some of these coins have been discovered with unusual features, errors that occurred during the minting process that make them stand out from every other dime produced that year. These errors can include missing mint marks, double dies, off-center strikes, or planchet anomalies. In particular, some 1986 D dimes were reportedly struck on the wrong type of planchet,